Getting ready for round one. OS, Old School, versus SKB, the Steel Knight Battalion. First map is Steps, and it is SKB's map selection. These teams are very closely matched. They're literally SKB is 13th in the Silver Division, and SKB is 14th. So they're neck and neck in the standings. Should be a tight, exciting battle. This is Wednesday Night Fights, Monday Meltdown show. Oops. I hope I didn't. Okay. Wow. I've got two mice in front of me here, and I just grabbed the wrong one to start flying the camera, and I was wondering why it wasn't working.
Oh yeah, you're one of those few people that plays.
I started clicking on it too, and I started clicking on my screen, and just got to double check. I didn't close anything. Good. I minimized a bunch of windows, but I didn't close
it. Looks like the Object 430 and the Object 140 from OS is sitting back doing some scouting. We'll see if Batchat from SKB is going to get spotted at all. SKB is also hanging back 3 mediums.
It's a very standard play to keep 2 mediums in the back here while you're pushing all your heavies. Those mediums have enough speed to catch back up, and if they do see something pushing up this line, the outside here, it gives the rest of the team the intel and awareness.
Wow, no, the Batchat still has not spotted the 430. Oh, now.
Or likewise been spotted himself.
Yeah, they just spotted. Both OS's mediums have been spotted, but only one tank of SKB has been spotted. So this is the key. Are they going to play the standard, or are they going to push into the dip? And it looks like SKB is pushing down onto the cap and went to low ground, which I have never liked. But
I want to get over to the heavy battle, but at this point it looks these mediums are toying with a push.
Yeah, there's 3 on 2. It's a possible overmatch over there. But if those 2 objects can take out that Batchat between the other 2 mediums come, there's an advantage because they don't have that auto loader. Stay on that side with the mediums. And
I don't know if OS realized until this moment that there was 2 Batchats pushing on them. Because now they're on the retreat with 2 Batchats and an OBJ 140 chasing them.
But you know what's interesting? If they notice how many shots came through, I think the Batchats actually used most of their shots before they even got into the fight. So if
that was only Landry though. Landry's on the reload. It's just
wow.
Viking, I think, had a full clip. And Viking goes on a reload now. Bad Touch is probably going to take J-Dog out. There he goes, but he'll get another shot in before he goes down, but Landry's going to be reloaded, and at that point, it's just a matter of unloading the magazine. You can avoid ramping up rocks. Larson takes him down, so that flank has been exhausted. I'm sure both of those Batchats will do a full reload before coming back in. We'll see. It's a very close battle health-wise.
You know, a 2-to-1 loss for
with still a 4% disadvantage.
Yeah, you know, even though SKB lost 1, they didn't lose their autoloaders. They only lost their object, and right now, having those 2 autoloaders coming up behind SKB or OS needs to push and
They're not
Take advantage of
focusing
overmatch.
their fire. OS has made the mistake here. One of them was shooting one of the chieftains. I guess they're all chieftains. But they didn't. They probably called shoot the chieftain, and they all shot a different one. Finally, now Big Kev getting focused. He's about to go down. He does. Cowboy has turned to face the Bat Chats. He weathered the storm. They're both reloading, and he might be able to take out Carlson. But OS has lost so many tanks that it's not going to matter.
Yeah, that's the one thing about this level is it's not consistent with focus fire. Some games they'll focus it, and other times they'll just get, it's nerves. That's the one thing is nerves will get to you, and all of a sudden you see you lose 2 mediums, and all of a sudden the call for a push goes, and then sometimes I wish I can hear how their team's calling to hear what they're calling.
Yeah. So SKB taking round 1. Looking through their damage, they had a really good even spread. No one climbing ahead. I mean, there's about 1,000 damage between the top and the bottom damage on their team. So that's what you want to see from a team playing together.
Bad touch going down early. One of the earliest guys in his team, but still pulling out 3,300 damage and a kill in that Object 140.
That kill being one of only 2 kills his team pulled off.
Speed is 50 Bs, but we'll see what they do with them.
Now,
there's not really much
Sample,
cover.
I heard you call out the E50M as the king of all mediums. Did Pizza Eater pay you to say that?
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
it's
it's
one of those.
It's crazy how it's there's more people that say no 50s in this meta because this map
Tier
maybe
10s.
like Hell's called out might be the only map that 50M is viable for. But
Yes.
I don't know. I had to say it. Yeah, Pizza is definitely all I ever see him run. But
He's an interesting fella.
It's a pretty big running joke that a lot of the German tanks are basically paying in a nutshell a box of Cheerios
E50s.
because you never know what you're going to get when it comes out of that box. And I promised you guys a food reference within the next 5 minutes, and that was it. So
Cheerios, all you can
staple
come up
tanks.
with is Cheerios. So we got the long shot running point, running along the whole south line in his 50M, being chased by his buddies in the E5s.
OS playing a
50 Bs.
very
Look at where those 50 Bs are sitting. The 50 Bs are sitting in the 1 line and the 1H, just looking to hoping somebody's going to pounce. And I think OS is being smart and either spotted them or is just running because they don't want to deal with them. But Bad Touch, I think, is sitting in a good spot enough to spot out, but not in trouble. And these Kronwagens are sitting in this little bowl where they go
Long
hold
shot's
down.
been detected.
12-2.
and has fired.
Just a bit of a
No
warning
damage
shot,
going
it
to
seems.
either team. Did he fire or was that a reload? Was he just putting in
He
a
fired.
shell? Because I didn't see the shell. Okay.
I didn't either, but I heard the noise.
Oh, the 50 Bs are going to be pushing. Big Kev is on a reload. So he has fired off all 4 shots there.
And Burn
But they
Box
still are
taking
not
the first
spotted.
damage of the game from Sniper.
Oh, Kronwagens
Big
are
Kev,
getting shot in the side
Landrew,
of the
and Heath putting this flank on.
Yep. That's coming around hard.
Landry's
So
on
they
the
got
reload. It looks like they're stalling on that push because they've turned the heads of enough of the OS guys that they've done their job. See Cowboy, Bad Touch, Burnbox, and Skilled all turning to look at him.
I think
However, they
SKB
do still
definitely
have
noticed.
3 on. They got some good communication to keep the guns in the battle. OS making a push here with their heavies. But
They're
still
not
leaving
pushing
some
with
on the
enough of
hill.
them.
No. And they're really
Vikings
not. This is not.
taking unpunished hits
They need
into
to
the
take-
side of the T-57 Heavy.
I would truly be surprised to see OS pull this out. I just feel they're too spread out, and if they push on them properly.
Yeah, they just
SKB's got the overmatch
got
on the
split.
low side here by the cap.
Yeah, but that's
best
not
thing
where
OS
the OS needs to have their tanks.
the
Go
best
ahead.
thing OS could have done is gone low and just pushed everybody onto the cap.
On the cap. Yeah.
They're
And just
too
force them
exposed
to try to
in
shoot
the
them in the
tracks.
butt.
Maybe left 1 or 2 shooting the guys in the back to keep them back, but the majority of their arsenal should have been down here on these 4. It would have created the overmatch, and this could be going a whole different direction.
Vikings comes in to clean up some easy kills.
Bad Touch is down here taking on 3 to 4. Bad Touch is down.
Got a slugging fest going on
Yeah.
between the autoloaders. Cowboy does not land the kill shot when it would have saved his
This
life.
is where the Kronwagens actually they had the advantage. They just were able to bounce. I'm interested to see how much they bounce off these 50Bs, but yeah, see if like you're saying, just get the 2 Kronwagens facing off against the 50Bs and then push everybody into the cap. It would have been an even push. Still, I mean, good college try. That's one thing is I don't want teams to get discouraged because this happens. It's a learning curve. It's way easy to get discouraged. But I mean, they put out, and they tried.
Well, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. That's only, 2 matches? 1 match?
Well,
Both
Semper
50Bs
or,
dying for SKB, but they were an
Gil-
integral part of that play coming up the track
Gil's
side.
Elite bounced 1,500 damage
Mhm.
off his Kronwagen before he went down. But
No.
again, the key is if you look at shots fired to pens, to hits to pens. I mean, and not pen, but you want every shot you fire to hit.
Now you mentioned there about teams getting discouraged when they lose like that. I mean, by no means should OS be discouraged that losing a battle to SKB. SKB put out a nice tactic there, a great play, flanked them and pushed in, waited at the right spot there at the tracks and the ravine there and squeezed in perfectly. I mean, you got to get out there in the battle and play these matches to learn. I mean, you can watch the stream as much as you want, and I mean, until you actually are in the battle and calling these matches live, you're not going to learn. And I mean, it's
Number one thing is that's why Hells and Steel Titan and all of them, I'm going to put a plug in there, is that's the reason why they created the mentors program. And there's a lot of teams I know with us, with MB, we practice and scrim with on your 6. And other teams, the gold teams, that's what helped us elevate us to where we got to. And a lot of teams, Nightmare, a lot of teams will scrim against the top clans on the off nights, and that's what it takes. I don't know how much VGA or Poppers scrim with other teams, but I know it
Oh,
helps a lot. I think you guys said that VGA is scrimmed with TP.
oh yeah.
We do as often as we can. We had 3 scrims this weekend. I mean, coming back from the holidays and whatnot, we've just been rusty. So every match we've played has been a scrim, and it's been some darn good scrims.
Oh yeah, and attesting to what you said about having those high quality players giving us a chance. DP's taken their share of bending us over and smacking us around a little bit. So we've come out of those games pretty bruised up and beaten, and it's tough keeping guys' hopes up. But at the end of the day, it's if you don't play against ridiculously tough competition, you're missing out on a huge skill curve, and that's what a lot of these the teams that are building their tank quality up learn from the best, play the best, lose to the best, and then use what the best did against you against the guys that are of your equal skill level, and I promise you will get better. That's what we've been doing for the past 7 or 8 months, and we've improved dramatically.
You
7
don't have
months
to
in
be.
the
So here we go,
I
round
I thought it was
3.
straight shoulder.
SKB.
Oh, don't forget that IS-7 also got a health pool buff to 2,500, so that's a lot of hit points just on those 4 tanks.
That IS-7 has really turned into a tournament tank since that buff came out.
Like you said, I'm looking forward to this, if it is true, from the rumors of the WZ 111.5A coming out.
And that's on the Chinese line, you said?
That's the
With
Chinese.
the Chinese
That's
New
the,
Year?
yeah, that's the second. That's the other heavy. It has 7 degrees of gun depression with a 2,700 DPM.
Now,
possibility, I
would that be a whole new line, or would that branch off at tier 8, tier 9?
No, but I think
something
it's
like
just a spin-off. A
Like
spin-off
the
just like
Chieftain was?
the Chieftain or 215B, yeah. I hope I'm going to be right and not, got the wrong information.
I mean, we're only just making educated guesses. We don't
Yes.
get any extra information that you
No.
guys couldn't look up yourself. We just spend so much
Yeah, it's
time
just stuff
dedicated
that,
to this game and researching what the PC has done,
exactly.
what the tendencies have been over the 4 years we've been playing the Xbox version. Mind you, with the Xbox has taken a slightly different direction in the past year, so sometimes they throw us off. Like they totally caught us all off guard with the light tank drop, but
Oh, with those light tanks, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that light
was-
tank.
but
A lot of people were not happy with that light tank addition.
and Wargaming has realized that was a bit of
Oh.
a mistake. They won't do that again. I can
Look
pretty
at
much assure
Viking.
you that.
Viking
At least not
almost got-
sneak it on us.
Right.
They've
Yeah,
said
they
that.
Viking
promised
almost
they'd
got
always
caught
give
out.
notice from now. Viking, yeah, you're trying to mention
Well-
here, Reaver. Viking is caught all alone. We call that out.
Yeah, but I understand why Wargaming did the light tanks thing is because people would pre-start grinding tanks, stacking up stuff, and so I think they're wanting people to play the lower light tanks and as they change around and not have them pre-ready to get all the tier 10s.
It is
So I think
true.
that's why they snuck it in there.
I respect that point of view, but what happened was in, say, the drastic case of the people grinding up the
T57
T49,
heavy.
trying to get to the T57 heavy, not quite unlocking
Yeah.
the 54E1 yet, and then all of a sudden the T49 doesn't unlock the T54E1 anymore, and they basically had to start a line.
Oh, yeah.
Like in their mind, they were
Same-
going for
same
the
with-
T57, and all of a sudden that
Same with-
T57 line progress was erased overnight.
Yeah, same
Yes,
like
and I was one of
grinding. I was
those
grinding
victims.
out the 54 lightweight to get to the T54 to get up to that. So, or the 1390. Basically, if you're trying to get that bat chat, and you're going to the 1390 and trying to get the AP, yeah, you kind of that line's got so shuffled. So I understand that at the same time.
That was
And
the
then
big
moving the
criticism.
Bulldog up and removing the autoloader, that was another one. I know with the 761 format, moving that Bulldog was definitely a hiccup for a lot of those 761 teams.
I think it was basically the nail in the coffin for that lots of people enjoying it.
They
I
also,
still think the
I
LTP.
sold my bulldog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I still always thought the LTP
Also,
was better.
they also the
I like
SP
them both.
whatever, the Tier 7 autoloading German tank. They took the autoloader off it too. So I sold it.
The SPC.
Yeah, I don't think that was right.
These mosses here
So-
have
So
been holding this side here without taking any damage. There's a ton of damage to be had here, and they haven't received any yet. All three still
Technically-
full health.
If this was a gold team, gold teams is pushing the north side and going on the cap is usually the meta you see. Because technically they could have had this capped out by now by sitting both tanks sitting not in the middle. So SKB, I don't know what they're doing. So if they just sit their tanks out, tucked in behind both these structures, they would have had this capped out.
Ooh, did he just back off the base?
but there
he
he
did.
just drove off the
He
cap.
did.
Yes, he did. And that's bad map awareness right now. I agree. I mean, if you're capping out, get your guns out of the fight. You get a pop shot, take the pop shot. But
Yeah,
they are
these,
supporting the E50.
I don't think long
These
shots is
mouses-
gonna be able to last a full minute to
No.
save the cap though.
No.
He's gotta hold off. There he goes already,
Yeah.
and
He just
there's
got
definitely
triple
not a
cap.
minute worth of travel time from here to the cap.
No, not for
No.
the 50. That 57
So the
heavy
cap-
will be reloaded by the time it hits cap.
What's the E4 doing over here? I think he just.
He was holding down.
I don't know what Bad Touch just shot at, but
He just wiped out. I think he just wiped out that E5. That's what he was doing. I'm not sure.
see at this point
Yeah, we
they
were so
don't
busy
actually
looking at
have
the
to
timer.
reset the cap. They just have to touch the cap. So the cap is effectively gone. They just got to reset on it as well.
I'd really like to see OS bring this back. It's gonna be a heck of a battle,
Yeah.
but I don't want to be a pessimist.
Oh. Yeah, that E5 just pushed on E4. So the E4 about 1,700 damage before it went down.
Ooh, the E100 Trouble just got
Trouble
double
should have
tapped.
went up there.
I
Yeah,
think he
should
might have been
up there
tracked.
with the IS-7. He possibly might have. This could be all she wrote.
But again,
Like
with
he's gonna-
the little bit of cap pressure that
Whoa,
Eventually.
where
he
did
did
Devil
put
Dog
on.
come from? What was Daredevil doing back here? He just came out of left field. So really
Wow.
spread out. Really spread out. That's all I can
Daredevil
see.
got left behind. He was on the mouse front, and then the mouses retreated and came up this way, and the Yag 100 retreated and came back the other way to counter them. So they both went
so
the same reverse and back
So
way
OS
around.
had a chance to win that. I think what happened was the cap pressure got to them, and they freaked out and started calling for flanks and rotations that just did not work in their favor. They had the advantage there going in with SKB having some tanks out of the battle sitting on the cap. I just think they started seeing that cap go down with two people on it and just kind of,
Freaked out.
yeah.
Wow. The damage by Killjoy and Big Kev in those mosses, as well as the damage blocked. 2520 blocked, 4,300 dealt by Big Kev, 4,000 dealt by Killjoy, and 3,600 blocked.
They
Real.
definitely, those mouses, they just kept moving forward, had them angled correctly, and did not stop moving. That's what you gotta do.
They
with
blocked 2,500 and 3,600. The other mouse blocked 1,900. So I mean, that's 10,000 right there between those three tanks. That's a lot of shots fired downfield that went unheard. OS was firing, that's for sure.
So that brings
Just
the
not
night
sure they
to
were
a
firing on the
conclusion,
right
doesn't it?
tanks. That
That
is
does.
the conclusion.
All right.
And we finished by about 10